Records are being broken everywhere. 154 sold-out games, product sales surging by over 600%, TV viewership growing by 170%. Women's basketball has never been more popular in the United States. But here's the paradox that's making everyone scratch their heads. The WNBA is about to lose $40 million this season. How is this possible? How can a league be simultaneously exploding in popularity and bleeding money? The answer lies in a complex story of rising stars, emerging rivalries, and a league in transformation. This is the story of how Caitlin Clark, the point goddess, and her future rival Paige Bueckers are redefining what's possible in women's basketball, and why this still might not be enough to secure the league's financial future. In 2024, the WNBA isn't just growing, it's exploding. Let's look at the numbers that are making history. From 45 sold-out games last season, we've jumped to an impressive under 54 this year. The stands are packed, fans are screaming, and the excitement is palpable. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. The league's official merchandise sales have skyrocketed with a stratospheric increase of 601%. Think about that. For every jersey sold last year, we're now selling more than 7. It's a merchandising revolution that nobody saw coming. And when it comes to television, the numbers are equally impressive. Viewership on ESPN networks has grown by 170%. More people are watching women's basketball than at any other time in history. Public interest is no longer a question. It's a fact proven by data. These aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. They're indicators of a profound cultural shift in American sports. They're signs that women's basketball is finally getting the attention it deserves. But with all this stunning growth, one question remains. Why is the league still in the red? At the center of this WNBA renaissance is a young woman who turned college basketball into a national event. Caitlin Clark, now known as the point goddess, isn't just a player. She's a cultural phenomenon. The numbers don't lie. Where Clark goes, crowds follow, and social media explodes. And when we talk about Clark, we can't help but mention her greatest rival, Paige Bueckers. Two 6-foot guards who have been competing against each other since middle school. Paige, and the first freshman in history to win the Wooden Award, the Naismith Trophy, and AP and USBWA Player of the Year awards in 2021, is ready to enter the WNBA in 2025. Their rivalry is unique because it's based on mutual respect. In Paige, words, she's the best scorer college basketball has ever seen. But I think she's so much more than a scorer. I think the best thing about her is her competitive spirit and her fire, her passion, her joy for the game. Clark returns the respect. I think the coolest thing about Paige is how resilient she is. Obviously, she's been kind of dealt a tough hand and only has positive things to say about her teammates. And the way she carries herself on and off the court, and the way she works hard, none of that has changed. This isn't just a rivalry, it's the future of the WNBA taking shape before our eyes. Two superstars who not only dominate the game, but also understand their role in elevating the sport to new heights. Despite all this glitz and glamour, the numbers behind the scenes tell a different story. The WNBA is projected to lose $40 million this season, and while that's better than the $50 million initially forecasted, it's still a number that sets off all the alarms. The reality is complex. The NBA owns 60% of the WNBA, and when you consider the stakes of other NBA team owners, that number rises to 75%. As one league executive revealed, the WNBA owes so much to the NBA that we won't see any profit for years. The paradox is clear. We have a league that's never been more popular, with records being broken in every possible metric, but still can't sustain itself financially. Ticket sales are up, merchandising is exploding, viewership is soaring, but the path to profitability still seems distant. And there are more complexities on the horizon. Players must opt out of the current collective bargaining agreement by November 1st, which could completely reshape the league's financial landscape. The issue of salaries, always a sensitive topic in women's sports, will likely be central to these discussions. But not all news about the WNBA's future is bad. On the horizon shines a ray of hope in the form of a historic media rights deal, $2.2 billion over 11 years, starting in 2026. To put this in perspective, currently, the league makes about $60 million annually from national media contracts. With the new deal, that number should increase to over $100 million annually. It's a giant leap that could finally start to change the league's financial game. But here's the challenge. The league needs to survive the current moment to reap the benefits of this promising future. The collective bargaining agreement negotiations will be crucial. How do you balance the players' fair desire for higher salaries with the league's need for financial sustainability? How do you ensure that stars like Clark and Page can shine while the league builds a solid financial foundation? The WNBA is at a historic crossroads. On one side, a moment of unprecedented popularity. On the other, challenging financial realities. Present success needs to be transformed into future sustainability. What can we expect for the WNBA's future? With Clark already established as a superstar and Page arriving in 2025, the league is about to enter its most exciting era. These two players aren't just exceptional athletes, they're icons capable of transcending the sport. The Clark-Page rivalry promises to be the kind of story that attracts not just hardcore basketball fans, but also casual viewers. It's the type of narrative that could do for the WNBA what Magic vs. Bird did for the NBA in the 80s, create lasting interest that goes beyond the numbers on the scoreboard. With the new $2.2 billion media deal arriving in 2026, the league will have unprecedented resources to invest in marketing, infrastructure, and talent development. Imagine packed arenas not being the exception, but the rule. Imagine players finally receiving salaries matching their talent and dedication. But the real test will come before that. The decisions made in the coming months, especially regarding the collective bargaining agreement, will shape the league's future. The WNBA needs to find a delicate balance, maintaining its growth momentum while building a solid financial foundation for the future. The WNBA is experiencing its most important moment since its founding. The explosive growth of 2024 has proven there's an eager audience for high-level women's basketball. It's proven that players like Caitlin Clark and Paige Page can capture the public's imagination just as much as any male sports star. But success can't be measured only in Instagram views or packed arenas. For the WNBA to truly thrive, it needs to transform this unprecedented popularity into a sustainable business model. This season's $40 million deficit is a clear reminder. Popularity and profitability don't always go hand in hand. The good news is that all the pieces are aligning. We have charismatic stars, exciting rivalries, a growing audience, and a historic media deal on the horizon. The question is no longer whether women's basketball can capture America's attention. That's already happened. The question is, can we transform this magical moment into something lasting? The future of professional women's basketball has never been brighter, and at the same time, so challenging. How will the next chapters of this story be written? Well, that depends on all of us. If you're as fascinated as we are by this historic transformation of the WNBA, we want to hear your thoughts. What do you think the league needs to do to transform this popularity into financial sustainability? How can we support the growth of women's basketball? Share this video with your sports-loving friends. Leave your comment about which matchup you're most excited to see. Will it be Clark versus Page in 2025? Subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis about the future of sports. See you soon.